Hey guys, my name is Jill Washington. I am either your personally sponsored coach or your upline diamond coach. I am here today to kind of go over your getting started right stuff. So one thing that we like to do with our new coaches is make sure that as soon as you get started as a coach, that you can hit the ground running, that you're fully prepared, and you are ready to take on this new challenge. So first, we are very excited to have you here, and if you need help with anything at all throughout the process, please reach out to myself or your personally sponsored coach if I am not that person. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see a couple documents. I am going to start off by going over the 7-day quick start, which should have already been sent to you. Okay, so one of the biggest things that you need to know as a Beachbody coach is going to be your coach ID number. This is going to be if you have to call our customer service line or our coach relations line, or you have issues with anything, you're going to need your coach ID number. How you find that is if you go to your Team Beachbody account, you log in, and at the top it will say coach. You're going to click coach and then coach online office, and it will take you to this. Just remember, Coach Online Office is where you can find anything related to your coaching business. And I'm going to kind of touch a couple of points on here, but also attached to the 7-day quick start is going to be a lot of videos that you can look over. So I would watch those first, and then when you get your welcome call with your coach, bring all your questions in. Right here, you can see my coach ID number. This is also going to say who your upline sponsor is. So mine is Monica. Her last name is now Taylor, so that will be a little bit different when you see her on Facebook. Also, if you go down here, it's going to show if you have any personally sponsored coaches, if your team has any personally sponsored coaches, and then if you have any new customers. There's also a spot for new emails, so I would always check that to make sure if there's anything important that you need to know. Most of those emails will also go to your whatever email you have set up on your Beachbody account as well. Right here, just a couple of basics. You can see if your home direct has come out yet. Mine comes out at the very end of the month, so it's still a 0. Or how many Success Club points you have. I'm still sitting at a 2, so I clearly have a little bit of work to do. Also, right here, this is going to be your coach breaking news. So I will share with you a couple of things about this as we go through your call. So, like I said, coach ID number. The next thing is going to be your coach website. So, further down here, there's a link that you can watch how to set up all of your profiles and your websites with your Beachbody account. One of the things that Beachbody offers is you get free websites with them as part of being a coach. So, whatever you set your username up is, that's going to be the end of this web address. That's how you're going to send people your link. So beachbuddycoach.com/whatever that username is. My username is my name, so it's really easy to remember. So it's not hard to send it to somebody. The next thing over here is going to be your coach support team. So your first person should always be your sponsor coach. So whoever you are signed up under as a coach. If that's myself or one of my downline coaches, you're going to put them first. Then if I'm not your coach, your diamond coach would be myself, and my name again is Jill Washington. You can always contact me at 712-314-8479. And then your star diamond coach is going to be Monica Taylor. I can get you that number at a later date, or you can always contact her on Facebook. Facebook is always an easy way to get a hold of anyone. You should also be added to our coach team page on Facebook, which is called Team Persevere. Myself or your coach will give you kind of a welcome shout out to the team, and everyone will kind of introduce themselves to you. And that will also be a good go-to space. So if you have questions about anything and you cannot contact me or your upline, then you can ask the page, and they are more than willing to help you with any of that. Also, right now, I would hit pause and I would save this 1-800 number into your phone. Coach Relations is going to be your go-to if you have issues with a challenger's order, if you sign up a new coach and you need them switched around a little bit, if something's not showing up and you need to get paid for something, things like that. That's going to be who you need to contact. And here's also a fax email you can contact them by as well. You can also email them at coachrelations.teambeachbody.com. That's usually the easiest way for me. The next thing is going to be to stay connected. So these are some important social media websites that I would follow. that are just, Team Coach 411. There's a Twitter page, an Instagram, things like that. I also suggest finding Carl Deichler's page. He's the CEO of Beachbody, and he also offers a lot of really good information. The next thing I would do is save in your calendar our National Wake Up Call. Every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time is our National Wake Up Call. And basically, Beachbody brings in all of the top coaches, and they talk about their successes, their failures, things that work well for them. There's a lot of motivational things on there. And I can tell you, I now work from home, so I can listen to those live, but before then, I always just scheduled them on my calendar to listen when I got off of work on Monday mornings or Monday nights. So there's a playback number. So if you can't make it when it's the live call, then I would listen to this playback. Also, anytime anyone rank advances, they will give you a shout out on there as well once you hit diamond and above. So if you know that someone on your team is rank advancing, I always suggest listening for that and then giving them a shout out on Facebook. You can also download the archive files. What I usually do is listen to them on podcasts. So if you download podcasts to your phone and then look up Beachbody, you can get all of the old National Wake Up Calls. You can also use those just as a good way of personal development. I always find awesome calls from years prior that are good with things to listen to. So the first thing, or number 3 right here, is setting up your business. So I would go through, watch all 3 of these videos. The good thing about doing videos is you can pause them, take notes, do whatever you need to do in the process so that it's a little bit easier to do on your own time. As soon as you get all of this stuff taken care of, though, then I want you to contact your upline coach and set up a one-on-one for your welcome phone call. And we can kind of answer any additional questions you have for you, things like that. The next one is going to be to create an action plan. So if we go down to the next page, this is kind of your go-to action plan. The first thing you need to do is have a success partner. So if you don't already have one assigned to you, we will assign one to you. And generally, it's going to be someone who's at the same level of coaching as you are. And that's just so that you guys don't overwhelm each other by someone being more advanced, things like that. And you basically, with your success partner, you're going to set goals together. You're going to work towards those goals. You're going to hold each other accountable and kind of cheer each other on when you have a rough patch. The next thing I want you to do is write down your why. And I want you to be as specific as possible. So is it because you want to be healthy? Is it because of your children? You want to make extra money? Or you want to pay it forward and help as many people as possible? Whatever your why is, write it down and then share that with your upline coach as well. And then we are going to get to setting goals. My goal for all of my coaches is to make your money back within your first 30 days of being a coach. And basically by doing that, you can do that by hitting Success Club. Anytime that you sell a challenge pack to one of your challengers, which would include a workout program as well as Shakeology, then that gives you 2 Success Club points. Once you've earned 5 Success Club points, then you have made it to Success Club. There's also a Success Club 10. So my goal is always going to be to hit Success Club 10, but starting out coaches, I would say it should be 5 to start. But that is a must. If you want to be successful in your business, there is no if, ands, or buts about it. You have to hit Success Club. There are a couple of ways of getting Success Club points, and that is if you sell a challenge pack, you get 2. If you sign someone up for Home Direct Shakeology, that's 1 Success Club point. And then if you sign up a coach with the challenge pack, that's also 2 Success Club points. So ideally, if you help 3 people a month, then you will hit Success Club 5. If you help 5 people a month, then you're going to hit Success Club 10. So that's not that many people in a pretty good amount of time. So as long as you put in the work, you can easily hit those goals. The next thing is going to be rank advancement. So how you rank advance is by adding coaches to your team. I can tell you, you're going to be the most successful as a Beachbody coach the more you build your own team. So as you have successful challengers, your next goal is to turn them into a coach. Or if you have people that you know would make great coaches, then I would get them signed up as soon as possible. Once you rank advance to an emerald, then the great thing about that is that Beachbody will give you free customers. So anybody that goes online and buys a product from Beachbody and doesn't have an assigned coach that they go through, Beachbody divvies those out to us. So as long as you are an emerald status or above and you're hitting Success Club, then you'll get those free leads. And that's always a good perk that you want to have. I mean, what other company gives their coaches free people? So once we go over, or once you go through all of this and you have your set goals, then we'll figure out exactly what you need to do to reach those goals. The next thing is connect your goals to your why. So achieving these goals will impact my business and my personal life by what? So if you're hitting these goals, how will that affect your life? And I would do personally, financially, and then business-wise. So if you're hitting those goals, how will that help you advance in your business? If you're hitting those goals, how is it going to help you financially? What would you do with a couple hundred extra dollars a month? Or even if you were making a couple $1,000s a month, the sky's the limit with this business, which is the great part about it. The next thing is going to be define your daily activities. So I will complete the following activities every day. I can tell you, I ask my coaches to work 1 hour a day. We call it a power hour. And in that power hour, we invite new people to our Facebook page or our Instagram, whichever social media site you use. We start new conversations with people. So whether it's just an old friend from high school that you haven't talked to in years, shoot them a message and be like, hey, how are things going? I saw you have a couple kids, how old are they? Things like that. As you start building relationships with people, then people are going to want to turn to you when they do have a fitness need. Or you can invite them to your challenge groups, and then it's already there. Also, you're going to spend time inviting those people, and you're also going to do personal development. We'll kind of break that down a little bit later. So as you do these activities, then how are these activities going to help you? So by adding these new people and putting up your social media posts, how is that going to help you? Whether it be building your social media brand, building your confidence, things like that. And your upline coach is going to be here to help you with those things as well. The next thing is going to be schedule your time. So I'm going to work this many hours a day or a week on my business. Again, my coaches work an hour a day. If you want to do more than that, that is completely up to you. Now that I'm a diamond coach, I work a few hours a day, just depending on what I have going on. And then I will fit this time into my schedule by doing these things. I can tell you I have to wake up really early in the morning on some days just to make sure I get my power hour in. But I would rather get it in early in the morning and then spend the rest of the day with my kids. So if you need help working around your schedule to figure out when you can do your power hour, please let me know and I can help you figure that out. The next thing is going to be identify potential obstacles. So, what are you going to do if your kids get sick or if you have to work late? Make sure you think about that stuff ahead of time so you already have a backup plan. I can tell you our daughter's in the hospital quite a bit and I still don't miss my power hour. I make sure that it gets done. Even my daughter knows when it needs to be done. So, and not that I'm saying sick kids don't take priority over your business because they do obviously. But I also know that I have really big goals, and those really big goals aren't going to happen on their own. I have to put in the work every day consistently. The next thing is going to be plan for those obstacles. So again, if you know that there's one day a week that you always are late because it's inevitable and it gets really busy at your job, then plan to adjust your time a little bit later. Even if you have to stay up an hour late that night, just make sure that you do it. Then the next thing is going to be schedule a challenge group and go public. So my team runs their challenge group the last week of every month. And then we also run a free challenge group the second week of every month. So depending on when you're starting, I would talk to your upline coach and see when the next challenge group is. And then I would post about it. I would announce that you've decided to be a Beachbody coach because you want to pay it forward. And this is my next challenge group. If you'd like to participate, please let me know. Before you put up those posts, I would talk to your upline coach and talk about, how you want to announce it, what pictures to use, things like that. We have a lot of scripts already put together that you can use, which I will go through on another call. Okay, so I am going to slide back up here to this, and we're going to go over kind of just the basics of being a coach. So our biggest thing of what you need to do to be successful is your 3 vital behaviors. So the first thing that you need to do is invite everybody you know. Invite your friends, your coworkers, your family, your friends of friends, things like that. But when you're inviting people, I don't need you to go overboard and send them stock pictures offline that says Beachbody sale or this Beachbody product, things like that. Please, please, please do not do that. We are not salespeople. We are fitness coaches. And being a coach, what you do is you encourage people along the way. You find out about them. We build those relationships. So yes, I do want you to constantly be inviting people, but I also want you to be learning about those people first. The next thing is to be proof that the product works. So people are going to be more apt to come to you for a fitness thing if they see that on your page, you're eating healthy, you're doing your workouts, you're drinking Shakeology. Because if they see that those things are working for you, then they're going to want to know what's working. Because, think about it. If you've ever had to go on a diet or, do a different workout program and it didn't work, or it worked and then you didn't stick with it. Well, Beachbody is a lifestyle change. It's not just a quick diet fad or magic pill or anything like that. That's not what this is. This is a complete lifestyle change, and we are here for the long haul. So make sure that you're using those products and you're sharing about it. The next thing is going to be your personal development. Beachbody is huge on doing your own personal development. Because obviously, how can you help grow your coaches if you're not growing yourself? And I can tell you, anytime that I see myself struggling in my business, the first thing that I go back and look at is, am I doing my personal development every day? And I can tell you, if I'm struggling, then that means I'm not doing my personal development. So if you find yourself struggling personally, financially, in your business, whatever it is, do your personal development. I guarantee it's going to make a huge change in your business. The next thing is make sure that you go and click on these and register for these events. So every year we have a Beachbody Summit, and next year it's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. And I can tell you, this is a total game changer. Me and my husband went for the first time this year, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I can tell you, I was certified in PIO, and I went in that day not knowing for sure how much I would like the program. I like doing it myself, but is this really what I want to teach? I'm not quite sure, but I'm going for it. And by the time I left that day, I was literally in tears halfway through the day of just how amazing it was to be surrounded by so many like-minded people and to have so many people that have been in my same shoes, and how life-changing Beachbody has been for them. I remember one of the coaches talking about in 2013, she came to Summit homeless. She had just moved to California and didn't have a job. She had just lost her job. Her boyfriend broke up or something, and she was homeless at the time. But she had already paid for everything for Summit because one of her challengers was going to win the $100,000 prize. And so she was like, you know what, I'm going. It's already paid for. I have to do it. And when she was there, she saw the success of all the other coaches, and she told herself, I can do this too. There's nothing different about those top coaches than what I have in myself, and I'm going to do it. And 2 years later, in 2015, she was inducted into the Beachbody's Millionaires Club. So in 2 years, she went from being completely broke and homeless to being in the Millionaires Club. Can you imagine that? Insane. And that's just one of the crazy stories. Like, it's mind-blowing how Beachbody has changed so many lives, whether it be financially, physically, emotionally. It's insane. So definitely go and register for Summit. Even if you don't know for sure if you can go right now, go do it, because there's a huge waiting list and people will fall off, and then people can actually get to go. The next thing is SS Beachbody. So this is every April there is a Success Club trip, and this year it is a cruise. And every time you get Success Club points, you earn money towards that cruise. I think my cruise was paid for in August, I want to say. So as long as I get off the waiting list, which hopefully I do, my husband and I will be on a cruise next April, completely paid for by Beachbody. Now, can you tell me that any other job that you've ever had would pay for you and your spouse to go on a cruise? I know mine wouldn't have. The next thing is Super Saturday. So every quarter, Beachbody hosts Super Saturdays all over the world. So if you don't know where your closest Super Saturday is, then talk to your upline coach and we will figure out where it's at. I know here in Kansas City, we have an amazing one. So even if you're one of my coaches and you don't live in Kansas City, maybe we can talk about carpooling to come and get here. And then the next thing is just going to be online training. So Beachbody offers tons of training for our coaches. So please click on that and just read through things. I can tell you, the more you explore in your back office, the more you're going to know about your business. Okay, so that is all I have for your Getting Started Right call. I want you to watch those videos, write out all your questions, go through your action plan and write it all out, and then schedule a time with your upline coach to go over all of it with you. And I promise you, if you do this action plan and you do what your coaches are telling you to do, you will be successful. And it all depends on how much you're willing to put in and how much you believe in the company. If you have any questions at all, like I said, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you out with anything. And you have a great day.